Modern New York faces floods that shut down subways, heat waves that turn streets into ovens, and storms that overwhelm infrastructure built for a different climate era. These events feel new, but the land beneath the city has always carried its own rhythms. Long before concrete and steel reshaped the shoreline, the Lenape people developed systems that worked with wetlands, forests, and seasonal cycles rather than against them. Today's question isn't just how to build stronger walls against nature, but whether the city can relearn ways of living that once made the region resilient. For serious history enthusiasts, this isn't nostalgia. It's a reminder that survival knowledge often disappears when societies move too fast. The Lenape recognized that Manhattan and surrounding areas were a network of marshes, streams, and tidal flows. Instead of forcing water into rigid channels, they allowed floodplains to absorb excess rain naturally. This approach reduced long-term damage because wetlands acted like living buffers. Modern urban planners are beginning to revisit similar ideas through green infrastructure. A practical example today is restoring small rain gardens or permeable surfaces that slow runoff rather than directing everything into overwhelmed drains. Even a homeowner can apply this thinking by reshaping a yard to guide water into planted basins instead of hard pavement. Historical accounts suggest that Lenape communities adapted their living patterns to the seasons, shifting activities and shelter types depending on weather and resources. This flexibility reduced strain on any single area of land. Modern cities often struggle because fixed infrastructure assumes stability that climate no longer provides. One way to apply this idea today is designing multipurpose urban spaces that can handle heat or flooding differently depending on conditions. Rooftop gardens, shaded walkways, and adaptable public areas reflect a mindset that values adjustment over rigidity. The Lenape landscape included dense tree cover open meadows and water access that naturally cooled the environment. Shade wasn't an afterthought. It was part of the system. Today's heat waves expose how much cooling power cities lost when green spaces were replaced with asphalt. Planting native trees along streets or incorporating green roofs isn't just aesthetic. It mirrors historical methods that moderated temperature naturally. Even small steps like increasing vegetation around buildings can reduce heat retention and lower energy demand. Lenape stewardship emphasized balance among plants, animals, and waterways. Rather than exhausting a single resource, they rotated gathering areas and allowed ecosystems to recover. This principle resonates with modern sustainability, but comes from centuries of lived experience. Urban communities can apply similar thinking by protecting pollinator habitats, reducing chemical runoff, and supporting local biodiversity projects. These actions might seem small, yet they rebuild ecological networks that strengthen resilience against extreme weather. The goal isn't to replace modern engineering with historical methods, but to blend them. Cities that integrate green corridors, restored wetlands, and climate-conscious design alongside advanced infrastructure often perform better during extreme events. New York has already begun experimenting with living shorelines and flood-resilient parks, reflecting a shift toward lessons that echo Lenape knowledge. Studying Lenape ecological practices reveals a mindset grounded in observation and adaptation. Whether you live in a dense city or a rural area, the principle remains the same. Work with natural systems first, then add human innovation where it supports rather than replaces those systems. Planting diverse species, conserving water, and designing spaces that can handle change are not just environmental choices. They are survival strategies rooted in history. If this deeper look at forgotten resilience changed the way you see the past and the future, subscribe to the channel and share this video with someone who values serious historical insight. The strongest lessons aren't always new. Sometimes they've been waiting beneath our feet all along.